morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. It's 9 a.m., first day of dove season. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Friday, August 28th, 2020 at 3:50 p.m.
Thank you. Let's pause briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have a place to play. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay, at this time, we'll open for public comments. We have a person calling in, Kevin Courage. Good morning, Mr. Courage. Mr. Courage. Mr. Courage. Mr. Courage. Hello. Oh, technical difficulty. Mr. Courage, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. We're trying to reach back out to the caller. So bear with us, please.
Can you hear my audio?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Courage?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. If you would state your name and your address, and then you'll have 3 minutes to address the court. So you may go ahead.
My name is Kevin Courage. I reside at 304 West Tinsley Drive in Robinson, Texas. Again, my name is Kevin Courage. I have resided in McLennan County all of my 60 years. I have paid property taxes in McLennan County 30 years on multiple properties. I am speaking today concerning my property at 164 Redfish Lane, in Hallsburg at Trading House Lake and the 1.3 acre flood stage land below Redfish Lane. I am the primary landowner on Redfish Lane. I purchased the property 4 years ago. Redfish Lane is a private dead-end road. I own to the center of the road from Summerfeld to the flood stage. In 2017, I paid to have Redfish Lane rebuilt. I purchased this property for recreation and retirement. I've had no enjoyment due to many long-term issues. I have been advised to seek help from the McLennan County Commissioners by many Sheriff Department deputies, Game Warden Michael Sabonik, McLennan County Maintenance Superintendent T.J. Jackson, and many others. Today, I am requesting to be placed on the McLennan County Commissioners Court agenda. I want Scott Felton and all 4 commissioners to be present at the same time to hear the multiple issues. I request to be heard publicly for all to hear. Thank you for your time.
Sir, we can hear you publicly now, and it's so you can go ahead and address the court.
I'm not prepared right now. I want to be placed on the agenda because I need much more than 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, going to, like now to jump to N1. Elizabeth Thomas, are you on the line? Okay, good morning, Elizabeth. If you would give your report for today, because I know you have a busy day, and this will let you get back to doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. As of yesterday, there were 91 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of cases to date to 6,355. There are 1,860 estimated active cases and 4,412 estimated cases who have recovered. There are currently 31 hospitalizations. 21 of those are McLennan County residents. 13 of those are on ventilators, and there have been a total of 83 deaths in McLennan County.
Okay, thank you. And there's going to be additional remote testing later on.
Yes, sir. We have put in a request to the state to bring in more testing sites, going back to some of our popular testing sites that we have used in the past. Once we get confirmation that those have been confirmed, then we will make sure to push that out and make sure that everyone is aware.
Okay. Are there any questions for Elizabeth? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Of course.
All right, going back up to item D on the proclamations, there's a proclamation in your package for recognizing September as Fair Housing Month. There's no one in court to accept the proclamation, but if the court's agreeable, I'd like to have a motion to approve the proclamation declaring September as Fair Housing Month.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
He's not on. He's not
Okay.
available today. All right, pass. Thank you. Going to the consent agenda items, I have no recommended pulls unless someone else does. If there's no pulls recommended, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Okay, pass. Thank you. Going to Francis will be available shortly, and so I'm going to skip the FY20 budget discussion and go to except for item F1P is discussion or action regarding the additional funding for volunteer fire departments. There was a request to increase that funding from $5,500 to $6,500 this year due to the fact that because of the coronavirus pandemic, they weren't able to have their normal fundraiser. So at the last Commissioners Court meeting, we had a discussion about how to handle this, and recommendation would be to take that $1,000, since we have it available in our budget for this current budget year, that we go ahead and take it out and then renew the budget or renew the agreement for 21, which we've already have in the budget at 55. And so is there any questions or discussion about that? This would be just to take the $1,000 out of 2020.
And Judge, the other agreements are also on the agenda, and I believe the discussion from the court last week, there seemed to be some support for going ahead and increasing those from the 5,500 to 6,500 for FY21. So that's on the agenda down a little bit further on H7.
Okay. Well, what I was thinking is if we could take that $1,000 that we have available for 20 and make part of that payment, and then we can address that contract as soon as we decide how we want to do this one. Any thoughts on that?
So you're talking about giving them $1,000 more this budget year.
Yeah, go ahead, because we have it available and they
Sure.
need additional 1,000.
Right.
And then,
They're probably all hurting right now.
yeah, I think so.
I would make a
I would
motion.
definitely
that-
support doing the extra 1,000.
I make a motion to add the $1,000 to the fiscal year 20
Okay,
funding.
Second motion.
all right, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Okay, pass. All right, let's see, Francis, you've got your,
Yes, sir. Can you
okay,
come back to me in just a second?
yeah, sure. Okay. All right, I'd like to go to, under item G. Under bids, RFPs, RFQs, quotations. Go to, under G1, authorization recommendation for bid number 20-021, construction of the 2019 CDBG Belmont Water Improvement grant, contract number 7219270. Ken?
Yes, sir. We received 2 bids on this solicitation. We received a bid from Core in Maine for $190,990. We received a bid from HCSE for a bid of $266,452. We recommend that McLennan County grant the award for construction of the 2019 CDBG Elmont Water Improvements contract number 7219270 Core in Maine in the amount of $190,990. Our engineers company that created the documentation, Justin Thomas with TRC Companies, sent in paperwork supporting the recommendation for the Maine. So
Okay.
that we should be good.
All right. Is there a motion to select Core in Maine as the contractor at $190,990?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Passed. Under G2 is authorization of professional surveying services proposal for Walker Partners pertaining to the boundary verification and topographic design related to the Panther Branch Road improvement. Zane, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, sir. This item is for boundary verification survey, land surveying, topographic land surveying on Panther Branch Road in Precinct 4. It's for to do the groundwork for a future bridge and creek crossing. And I've spoken with Commissioner Perry, and he is definitely in favor of doing this land surveying work in the amount of $28,950.
Okay, any questions for Zane? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under G3 is authorization regarding renewal of bid number 17-015. This is for the inmate personal items from ICS Jail Supplies Incorporated. Ken?
Yes, sir. This is our regular renewal for the inmate personal items. I believe a little while back, we came back with some increases to the agreement for some of the items related to COVID. In this renewal, we contacted ICS and consulted with Lacey Key with ICS and received an email from her stating they would like to renew the contract, but due to COVID issues, they'd like to remove a few of the items. These items are powder-free latex exam gloves, food handler gloves, disposable aprons, and then a couple of other items, the wall flipper set and wall replacement blades for flippers. Apparently the wall factory in Illinois is closed down, so those are not available anymore. With this renewal, there's no increase in pricing from what we had a month or so ago. So this is just a renewal with the removal of those items. And if approved, the contract will be effective from October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass.
And Judge, if you want to go back to F,
Yeah.
I can go through those items.
All right, going back to FY20 budget. Under item F1, F is budget amendments. F1 is regarding the FY20 budget. Francis?
Sure. So I have a listing of the FY20 budget amendments for today, starting with F1A. This is general fund for Constable Precinct 2, and their request is to increase postage and shipping within their department. F1B, this is general fund for the purchasing department. The request is to increase furniture and equipment so they can go ahead and purchase some computers, a monitor, and a scanner, as well as a desk, and they are able to move money around within their department as well. F1C, this is in the general fund in the countywide department. This is a request to increase the line item for autopsies. And this is our estimate at the moment to finish out the year. And that is coming from the contingencies line item. F1D, this is general fund Constable Precinct 1. The request is to increase other services and charges, postage, and as well as part-time pay. And they are able to move within their department. F1E, this is general fund for JP Precinct 3. The request is to move within their department into supplies to purchase calendars. F1F, This is general fund maintenance of equipment. There is a memo attached from David Ives, and I'm sure he could answer more questions if you have them, but they would like to make two purchases, one being a new copy machine, and that is $7,464.46. And then the second request is to purchase a new scan tool, and that purchase is $3,545. Currently, there is money sitting for these purchases in our capital outlay department. Previously, the maintenance of equipment director had budgeted for some items that ended up not being needed. But to make the purchase, we do need to move some of the money into furniture and equipment. So this budget amendment is showing that move there, but money was already budgeted, just moving that to the appropriate spot. F1G, this is general fund for Heart of Texas Fairgrounds. This is a request to move into repair and maintenance. And this is based on a quote that you approved for a boiler installation at the Extra Crew Event Center. F1H, this is general fund for the sheriff's office. They were requesting to purchase a vehicle. And I'll read here the explanation that originally you approved 3 investigator slots for FY21. The sheriff's office told the court that they would source the vehicles for these positions from existing fleet. 2 of those vehicles they were able to keep from auction. I'm sorry, 2 of the 3 vehicles that they were going to keep have experienced major mechanical issues since that time. So they'd like to utilize funds that are within their department to go ahead and purchase 2 vehicles now. And they did say that that will not alter their 16-year replacement plan that they've provided to you in recent years. They would also like to move $13,000 into furniture and equipment to purchase laptops for CID. F1I, this is in the Justice Technology Fund for JP Precinct 5, and they are requesting to move $350 into other services and charges for the purchase of Adobe software. F1J, this is a certification of revenue with a related budget amendment. This is certifying proceeds from the agreement with the City of Ross by Road and Bridge Precinct 3. So we're certifying $35,608. And then the budget amendment that goes along with that is requesting to increase road construction materials in the Road and Bridge Precinct 3 department. F1K, this is in the Permanent Improvement Fund related to the 2017 bond. And this is additional money that is needed to complete the garage relocation to the jail. F1L, this is general fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 1, requesting to move from their contingencies line item into road construction materials. F1M, this is general fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 4, requesting to move within their department into capital outlay and professional services. F1N, this was not in your packet, but the request from Road and Bridge Precinct 2 is to increase capital outlay by $25,000 and increase furniture and equipment by $5,000 by moving from other lines within that department. And F1O, this is general fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 3, and they are also requesting to move within their department into other services and charges and tires, tubes, and batteries. Any questions or comments? Do we need to go back to any?
Okay, any questions anyone have? If not, is there a motion to approve the recommended budget transfers?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under F2 is regarding the FY21 budget. Francis?
Yes, so I don't have anything for A. We will have the FY21 budget in place for October 1st, so we're ready to go in that regard.
Okay. Under F2B is authorization of county legal services budget for Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. This is the Title IV-E grant. This item was deferred on 18th. Francis, do you have something?
Yes, but it is ready for approval today. So this is the budget for the Title IV grant related to legal services
Okay.
for the upcoming year.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Pass. Under F2, pull with no action. Under F2D, designation of expenditure limits for local government code 130.908. Francis?
Yes, so of course, each year you adopt a budget for each elected official's department, and that sets limits, of course, on what they can spend. But since our fiscal year has a September 30th year end, when we have outgoing elected officials, their term is only going to cover those first 3 months of the next year.
Okay.
So the local government code gives you additional authority to limit the spending within those 3 months. You can set an amount that any expenditure to exceed that amount needs to be brought to court for approval. If you choose to. In the past, we've, one of the last ones, we set a $5,000 limit to where anything,
Right.
any purchase order that comes through or any non-PO purchase would need court approval.
Okay,
Did we do like exempt road materials or anything, or did we just set it at 5,000?
I believe we just set it at 5,000, I believe.
I can see. Yeah. Is that something you recommend or?
Well, yeah, it makes it easier on us if we can accept the road materials.
I would agree.
And maybe
Can't really hear what y'all are saying.
Okay, what Ken was saying is that could we put an exemption in there for road material because it's a large amount of dollars and it's, comes in and it's used as needed. So in the past, we've had $5,000 limitation. Anything over and above that comes to court. And the suggestion was to,
Road materials.
road material be an exception. And of course, that would just be with precinct 1.
Yes, sir.
I don't think Judge Strother's gonna be buying any road material. Okay, what's your thoughts? Any thoughts on that? Well, I would make a motion that we have a $5,000 limit, and with the exception of road material. Is there a second on that?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Pass. Under F2 is authorization department head salary sheet. You've got it there in front of you. All of them are budgeted max with the exception of Welfare Health Director Heather Travers. And and as of March, she had been here for 1 year. So I don't know if we want to have open discussion of that or can be an executive session if it's necessary, but any thoughts?
I would like to discuss further our Welfare Health Director, Heather Travers. If we have to do it in executive, then that's fine, but I would like to have some discussion on hers. Because I would just like to consider more than the 1%, given that we need to do an evaluation on her.
Okay. All right, then I recommend that we hold this item to the end of the meeting, at which time we can go into executive session and have a discussion about that. Okay? All right. Under H, under Under contracts, interlocal agreements, and memorandums of understanding, under H1 is item that needs to be deferred. So is there a motion to defer?
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, under H2 is authorization of software contract with EDOC Technologies Incorporated Justice Court Case Management and EDOC Suite. So Lisa?
Yes, sir.
good morning.
This is our annual agreement for the JP offices. The annual fee for this renewal is $39,600, which would be divided between the 6 precincts.
Okay,
And this would renew for a single year.
okay. Any questions on that? If not, is there a motion to approve the $39,600 agreement with EDOC?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion,
Second.
motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under H3 is authorization of sales order agreement and service agreement with CTWP. This is on a copier. The sale order agreement totals $7,464.46. And the service agreement is $550 a year, and it covers parts, service, labor, and black and white toner. Any questions on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Passed. Under H4 is authorization of preventive maintenance agreement with Emergency Power Services. Primarily, this is generator maintenance for the runaway shelter, Bill Load, and the Juvenile Justice Center, Highway 6, jail, IT, computer room, and sheriff's building, and Jack Harwell Detention Center. TJ, is anything you want to bring up on this? Is TJ available? Yes, sir.
Sure.
Good.
No, sir, this is nothing new. This is our annual agreement with Emergency Power Services to PM all of our generator units. So we've got this budgeted for 2021.
All right, good. All right, is there a
Motion
motion?
to approve.
Okay,
Second.
motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Snell,
Commissioner Snell, can you hear us?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Okay, pass. I'd like to call on Dustin Chapman to go over these annual contracts.
All right, Judge, this first one, H5, is an authorization of interlocal agreement with Waco Crime Stoppers. This is where our renewal of our annual agreement where we pay Crime Stoppers $10,000 for them to meet the goals laid out per statute. And funds for this are under Department 2200, which is the County Sheriff's Department. H6 will need to be deferred at this time. Under H7, this is the authorization of contracts for fire protection services. This is the annual contract with them. This is where there was discussion last session where we've been at the $5,500 level. So this is court decision whether to keep it at the $5,500 or move it to $6,500 for FY21. So I don't know if y'all want to talk about it right now before I move on to the next one, or if you want me to keep going.
I think we can stop you if you have any questions, so go right ahead.
Okay. Under H8, it's reauthorization of the interlocal with McLennan County 911 Emergency Assistance District. This one is no cost to the county. It just allows them to place 911 service equipment at the sheriff's office. And under H9, this is the authorization of provision of library services agreement with Hewitt Community Library, McGinley Memorial Library, Moody Community Library, Nancy Nell Memorial Library, and West Public Library. And the contract states that those libraries will receive $8,000 each from the county through September 30th, 2021. And Judge, that's all the annual ones in this little grouping.
Okay. So that would be item H5 and H8 and H9.
Yes, sir. And then H7 is the fire department one that we just need direction from the court on which level to set.
I'll go back to it.
Okay.
So on those three I mentioned, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Okay, pass. Under H7 is authorization of contract for fire protection service with the County Volunteer Fire Departments and McLennan County Fire Protection Association. There's language in here that covers areas that is based on the pro rata on the amount of square miles they have to deal with in protection, but the more specific one is the annual contribution that the county makes to those. In the current, I think we increased it last year up to 5,500, and then with the $1,000 that we put in for 20 would we approved this 5,500 for budget year 21, that they would end up getting $6,500. And then on the 21 budget year, we will make notation to consider the amount for the following year. One thing also to note is we're working through interoperability efforts across the county to with different tower locations and things like that, that we eventually get everybody on the same radio systems. And it's going to take the Commissioner's Court more than likely some financial effort in this thing to help those volunteer fire departments, because these would be expenses that they normally wouldn't have. And so they've been pretty much begging and borrowing for radio equipment. And so this would upgrade them so they can, would be the plan. And we would know more about it later on in budget year 21 from our consultant in Motorola, and plus with all the emergency management people having discussions about that. So I think it's going to be actually more than what we're talking about as far as help that we'll be giving to volunteer fire departments. Any other thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we've had this 5,500 amount. I mean, I don't know how long we've had it, but we've had it for a while. And since I've been here anyway, I guess. Dustin, what, do you know the history?
I don't remember the last time it was adjusted. Francis, do you remember when we bumped it last?
1 second, I'll look that up.
Thank you.
It was 5,000 when I came here, I believe.
I know we added the $30 per square mile of coverage some years back.
Right.
Yeah, that was, their costs continued. I mean, I just, like I said last meeting, their costs continue to increase. The bunker gear has to be replaced every so often. We're talking about this new radio system. It's going to be quite the, it is going to be a financial burden on them also too. So I would like to see us increase the contract amount to 6,500.
Well, in other words, if we did it for 21, that means we'd be giving them 7,500 because we just approved.
Well, I think you're just kind of splitting hairs there. You know, so in 20, we're doing it. I mean, we're in 20, we're giving them $1,000 more, and then in 21, we're giving them 6,500. So I disagree with that.
Well, that's 1,000 question. So
1,000 this year and 1,000 next. So
I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm saying that when we start the budgeting process, that we will consider increasing that. And I think we're gonna have to do it more than that if you consider us covering some of the cost of radio changes. So I'm not trying to short them. I'm trying to make sure we know what we're talking about.
And in 2016, you were at $5,000. In 2017, that's when we bumped it up to 5,500.
what were those dates again? I'm sorry.
Sorry. And I can go back and see when it went up to 5,000, but in 2017, you increased it to 5,500. And it's been that same since.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would make a motion that we have this contract at 5,500 for budget year 21, because we just gave them an additional 1,000, which meets the request that they had, and then we will look at it next budget year of possibly going up to whatever their needs are. So I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes, aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Belton,
aye,
Commissioner Jones.
Oppose.
passed. Okay, going to, let's see, going to item H.
Judge, we
Yes.
need a motion on H6.
I'm sorry.
We need a motion on H6.
Okay. On H6.
Motion to defer H6.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Snell,
Commissioner Snell.
Aye. Aye.
Okay,
Commissioner,
Aye.
all right. You can only vote once.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Belton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under H10, authorization of agreement for dental services addendum with Dent Trust Dental Texas PC. This is dental care for inmates and detainees. Ken?
Yes, sir. We currently have a contract with Dent Trust Dental after years, but we consulted with Dave Dias at the jail and also with Dave with Dent Trust and also the agreement. The process for the dental procedures remain the same, but they're requiring an additional charge of $31.25 per patient for personal protective equipment required due to their COVID-19. If approved, the contract will be effective from October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021. Of course, I think we'll be contacting them if it goes away to take that charge.
Okay, did y'all hear that? All right. All
Heard
right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the dental trust agreement.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Commissioner Snell. Commissioner Snell?
it's him. Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Passed. Under H11 is authorization and local cooperation agreement with Bosqueville Independent School District as a school resource officer program. It's the same program we had in the last year or so. Are there any questions? Some of the representatives of the Sheriff's Department here. Otherwise, what's the pleasure of the court?
I had a question, especially since you said that there are some representatives from the sheriff's office in court. I like the program. I'm wondering, have other school districts, such as maybe Mart or Hallsburg, have other school districts out in the county, have they mentioned any interest in a position like this?
Okay, we have David Ives at the microphone.
So yes, Commissioner Miller, we have had interest from other school districts as well. Some of them have been seeking information as far as if they wanted to pursue their own police department or ISD, and some for the contract services that we provide. So we have some administrative individuals, speaking to these individuals, seeing what needs they have, and seeing if those are needs that we can fill for them and the little small communities that out there in the county.
Okay, most part I understood what you said. It was a little garbled, but I'm getting that there is some interest from other school districts and that you guys are working with those school districts. Do we have room during this fiscal year to come back with more contracts if it evolves into that? Or is today like we would have to wait to the next fiscal year to anticipate supporting any other school districts?
Well, at the sheriff's office, we're always ready to support the citizens of the community, whether it be the ISDs or any other facets. So we would be willing to move on things fairly quickly as we can, get things through the court and get approval, of course. We always have to follow that route. But we would definitely be willing to move forward with some of these ISDs if they wanted to engage in the contract services with us, for sure.
Okay. Not to prolong the hour or to hold up this agenda item, I'll just visit a judge with the sheriff's office and some of the school districts in my precinct. And if it is that we'll do something in the future, we'll come back at that time.
Okay, thank you. In the meantime, what's the pleasure of the court on this?
I had a question for David. Is this going to continue for, and are they reimbursing us for this?
Correct, they are, sir. So this contract is set up to benefit the school's fiscal year budget. So what we have to do is today we will provide the school with the updated costs for October, because we have a 30-day contract time that we have to notify them on that. But we'll notify them of that today. That will provide them the 30 days so that when October 1st rolls around, there will be a proper cost associated with that within the new budget.
And we bill them each month on actual payroll cost, whatever
Okay.
those may be.
It's fuel for the vehicle, maintenance on the
And that as
vehicle.
well.
It's very, equipment. It's very inclusive.
Are these generally covered by on-duty patrol or off-duty?
No, we actually have a specific deputy that is assigned to that school. He is assigned to it. They are paying his entire salary. He essentially lives on that campus, so to speak. If he is not there, we do provide another deputy because we are contractually obligated to provide that service to the school. So he has special training specifically for being a school resource officer. It's a specialized field, and he's qualified to do that, and we assign him to it.
Okay. Any other questions? Good discussion. Thank you. All right. if there's no other questions, what's the pleasure of the court on H11?
Motion to approve the agreement with Bosqueville ISD.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Dustin, there's a couple more annual contracts. You want to go over them?
Yes, sir. This first one, H12 is the agreement with to provide IT support services to CSCD. And I believe Lisa and Francis may have some information they want to add to this. I know kind of our responsibility for this has changed a little bit over the years. So Lisa or Francis, one of y'all want to take over?
Yes, hello. So to give a little background on this, IT has been providing support services and being reimbursed towards those salaries, I believe since FY 2008. The amount has changed a little bit. It was more in the beginning because we gave them support. They had a dedicated programmer on our bridge system. And through the years, they have moved to a different record management system that is now hosted. However, we do still provide them storage for their directories and such. We also provide application support for the new EDOC system in Munis, and we provide a pretty fair amount of desktop support. So these things have changed. The current amount that they have been paying annually is $35,100. So it is time again to renew that support contract. But this year there's been a request from Chip Siegman to consider waiving those fees associated with our agreement due to the hardships created by this pandemic.
And so I can speak a little to that.
Okay.
Like Lisa said, we definitely need an agreement for the support services, but specifically on that number 4 of the agreement, the amount of $35,100, Chip Sigmund came in and, expressed some concern about next year. Their department relies almost solely half on state grant revenue and half on probation fees. And there's been some drops in those amounts. And so he came and, voiced his concern and let y'all know that there may be something that we need, maybe the general fund may need to pick up during the year. Doing away with the amount that is transferred from the grant over to general fund could alleviate some grant funding and allow him to use that money for other purposes for his office. And the way this works now, that $35,000, we transfer it from the grant in, and it shows up as a revenue in the general fund. So expenditures in IT still the same. It's just that it's included in our revenue amount that we use to fund the budget. So if you did decide not to go forward with that, it's in the budget for next year, but it wouldn't be detrimental to take that out. It would be okay.
My question is, would these be reimbursable under the CARES Act due that it's directly caused by that?
I think the drop in revenue, just because of a drop in revenue, I don't think that would fit in there. We can look into it some more.
And that's a state agency.
Yes.
So there again, we've got an unfunded mandate from the state for us to pick up those costs, just like picking up the costs for inmates that the state hadn't picked up.
Yes. So we can definitely look into that. We'll do some research on that. But I know today, if they know whether this amount is in the contract or not, they can go forward with their grant budgets for the next year.
Yeah. So. Any questions? Any thoughts you want to have? What's the pleasure of the court? So the question is, would we provide those services and waive the fees? Any thoughts on that? So I hear that the court's taking no action. So
Do
I
we
would
have
rec-
today? Can we get more information? Francis, bring back more information. For instance, if in waiving it, if it would be an expense allowable under the CARES Act. Do we have to do this contract today?
we can, she does not think it would be, but we can look at that. So I'd make a motion, we defer it.
Second.
Can we defer it?
So the contract is supposed to be effective September 1st. So Dustin, do you have any thoughts on that?
It technically ended yesterday. So the renewal is up. I mean, we could continue forward just under the understanding we still provide those services till the 15th. It's really, up to the court. But technically, we would be without a contract.
Okay.
So
Well, I
it's just
want
for
to-
network infrastructure, desktop support. That's
Would you-
all, correct?
Would you repeat that, Commissioner?
It's just for the network infrastructure and desktop support.
Yeah, well, it also includes some application support, but yes, so we are, I will say this, they have a
Munis and
pretty
EDOC.
small footprint in relation to the amount of data that they have stored on our network. We do support their use of the EDOC system and the Munis system, and then yes, desktop support.
So we're paying EDOC and Munis on their behalf without reimbursement if we approve this request. So I would say, I would make a motion that we continue the service till September the 15th, at which time, is that the next Commissioners Court meeting?
Yes, sir.
18.
Then, and we'd come back then with further discussion on it, and maybe we can find out if there's any state or CARES Act funding that might be applicable.
I agree.
Okay. So I make a motion in that effect. So is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Dustin, H13.
H13 is authorization of interlocal cooperation agreement with the city of Waco by and through the Waco-McLennan County Public Health District regarding the on-site sewage facilities. And we contract with the city of Waco through the health district to handle the OSSF program for the county. The FY budget has $85,335 allocated to this program under the contracted programs budget. So we just need a motion to approve that agreement.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under, let's see, is Chris Collins on? Dustin, do you know if she had anything for executive session?
I don't believe she did, Judge, but she's on. I'll send her a message. She's muted her videos off, so I will send her a note.
Okay, when she comes on, let me know. We'll get to that one. All right, I'm gonna skip down to item H15, authorization of interlocal cooperative agreement with the city of Galinda for brush cutting.
Yeah, make a motion to approve the agenda for brush cutting with the city of Galinda for $360.
All right.
Second.
Motion's made and second. Any discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass.
Judge, I see that Chris is unmuted.
Okay, Chris, are you available?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, you have a couple of items to go over with us this morning. So one is authorization of agreement with Industrial Business Grant for Texas Meter and Device Company LLC investment in real and personal property.
Yes, sir. Can we take H14 and I1 at the same time?
We can.
I will. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So we are talking about a expansion opportunity with Texas Meter and Device today. They are a very long tenured business within our community, established in Waco in 1937, operated for a number of years on the Old Dallas Highway until that facility had a large fire and reestablished their facility in downtown Waco, taking over the old McDowell building downtown. They do provide some very significant metering and utility services across the United States, and have over 100 employees throughout the state of Texas, 60 of which are concentrated in the Waco operation, which serves as the corporate headquarters for the company. When they established the facility in downtown, of course, downtown was very different at that time, and we've seen a lot of changes, very positive for the community, but they have created some logistics and operations challenges for the business. And when you look at the highest and best use of the property now compared to when they were originally in it, that has changed. They are looking at the acquisition of a site, a 13.74 acre site at the corner of Gateway Boulevard and Bagby Avenue in the Gateway Business Park for the construction of a new assembly and headquarter operation. They're still in the final phases of development, but anticipate that it'll be somewhere between 50 and 70,000 square feet at full construction. They would retain all 60 of the employees in Waco that have an average annual salary of $53,000 a year plus benefits. Their capital investment, estimated capital investment, is $3.5 million on the real property improvements. They would also relocate the existing personal property, including inventory that's valued at $2 million. The new construction would be anticipated to be 9 to 12 months. They are motivated to exit downtown and get into their new facility. The Waco-McLennan County Economic Development Corporation Board has recommended a grant in support of $400,000 for the new facility. That again is the $3.5 million in real property investment, maintaining $2 million in personal property value in Waco, and the retention of the 60 existing employees in Waco with an average annual salary of $53,000 a year. Those funds would be available at closing on the new property, and the agreement would have a term of 6 years with it. When we look at the payback and the return on investment analysis with that, overall, it has a 20% return on investment in 4.6 years. For the county, it's 15.4% in 6.2 years. And for the city of Waco, it's 24.6% in 3.6 years. So that is item I1. And looking at item H14, the additional support would be the industrial business grant, both the city and the county participating in that only on the real property improvements. So the existing personal property that's already on the tax rolls would stay as is, and the new facility constructed in the Gateway Business Park would be eligible for a business grant at 40% for 5 years. Looking at the reimbursement from the county through that, the grant back to the business, again, they would pay the taxes up front and then receive an annual grant amount. And that total over a 5-year period from the county is $35,357.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you, Chris.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Dustin, if you'll pick up at 8:16.
Yes, sir. This is regarding the Texas Department of Agriculture, Texas Feeding Texans Home Delivered Meal Grant Program. This is authorization of agreement for services and related resolution with Central Texas Senior Ministry for the Meals on Wheels program. This is our annual agreement with them. We bumped it by $5,000 in FY19. It's up to a total of $25,000. And with our county's local support and including the resolution with it, they are able to access more funds through the Texas Department of Agriculture. So we just need to approve this agreement, and the funds are in the contracted programs line item. Then under H17, this is the reauthorization of current intergovernmental agreement with and lease of the facility for the Community Crisis Triage and Respite Center. This is the lease of the old juvenile runaway facility. Old juvenile facility located at 1200 Clifton to MHMR for $1 per year. And just as a reminder, we provide maintenance after MHMR has incurred and paid for $10,000 in ordinary maintenance on that property. And then under H7B, it's another mental MHMR agreement. That one will need to be deferred. We're still waiting on documentation.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve H16, H, and then I, excuse me, under H17, H1? Is there a motion to approve those two items?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under H17, I make a motion we defer. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under Dustin, under H19 and H20.
All right, Judge. Did we do H18? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Under H18's authorization monitoring agreement with L&M Electronics for Road and Bridge Precinct 1. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye. Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, under, so Dustin, under H19 and H20.
H19 will need to be deferred. And then H20 is the authorization of agreement for economic development service with the chamber. This is our annual contract with the chamber for them to provide economic development services to the county. It was bumped during the budgeting process up to $185,000, and something that Francis and I need to look at. I know normally we pay half the licensing fees of the software. I'm looking at the contract now, and it reads that our half of that is over and above the $185,000. That's something that Francis and I can confirm if the court wants to approve this, or I can visit with Chris about it. Maybe we can come back to it today. But the way the agreement actually reads, I can pull it up real quick. It says, in addition to the above referenced $185,000, upon receipt of an invoice from the chamber, county further agrees to pay the chamber 1/2 of the licensing fees for the impact data source economic, the model. So Francis, are you thinking that the 185 was inclusive of that licensing fee as well?
Yes, and so in prior years, we've spent 165,000 for the agreement with the chamber for the services, and then always budgeted an extra 10 to cover the software licensing. And then they asked for an increase to 175,000 at budget time plus the amount for the licensing. So I think the court agreed to bump that up to 175 plus the licensing is the way I understood it.
So I guess if we want to defer these two, and then I'll go back to Chris and work through that, the amount in the contract might just be incorrect.
All right, is there a motion to defer H19 and H20?
Move.
Second.
Motion been made second. Any other discussion? Further discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Going to J under capital improvements, repairs, maintenance, and projects under J1 regarding the ADA renovations Expo Event Center. Is agreement with John W. Irwin Construction authorizing application for payment number 3, which is an amount. This is for the improvements, including restroom renovations, elevator work totaling $672,000. And it was the application for the payment number 3 is $54,043.
Yes, sir. Dustin and I both reviewed this pay app and we're good.
Okay, did y'all hear Ken? He said we're good with the payment.
Motion to approve pay application number 3.
I have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under J2 is regarding the Spiegelville Road Improvement Project, number 20-004, agreement with Knife River Corporation for South authorization of application number 6. Zane, any comments on that?
Yes, sir, Judge. This application has been reviewed. It's just their monthly application for payment, and I recommend approval.
All right, the amount $22,024.32. All right, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? So discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under K, under real estate and right of way, we have nothing this week. Under L is grants and grant proposals. Under L1 regarding the statewide automated victim notification service grant. Under L1, this is grant number 2111508 with the Office of Attorney General, and the amount up to $24,478.16. They also are adding $1,575.75 for funds quarterly for the cost associated with the eVine upgrade and new system. Any questions on this? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second? I'll second.
Second.
Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under L's authorization, first contract renewal, participating entity service agreement with APRIS Incorporated. This is in 2019, the court approved a participation entity service agreement with APRIS. They're a certified vendor chosen by the Office of Attorney General to provide services request for in a grant. The OAG will pay APRIS an amount not to exceed $6,119.54 for expenditures plus $1,575.75 for e-bind upgrades per quarter. This is our first renewal. Is there any questions on this? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. L2 is authorization and local agreement with the city of Waco and the city of Belmead for FY20, the Edward Bryan Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, or the JAG grant program. The agreement with the Waco and Belmead is an amount that totals $57,876. This is an annual grant. This award will be divided between the city of Waco, Belmead, and the county. The county share will be $20,738.70 and will be used for law enforcement equipment until September 30th of 23. So a motion to approve acceptance of that grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Dustin, if you'll take the items under L3.
All right, Judge, these are the Title 4E legal assistance claims. They're under L3A. It's for quarter ending December 31st, 2019, and L3B is for the quarter ending March 31st, 2020. These are for legal reimbursement for legal services provided by the DA's office for CPS cases.
Okay, is there a motion to approve L3A and L3B?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Dustin, L4.
All right, this is the FY21 Office of the Attorney General Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant Ratification of Grant Contract. In April of 2019, we approved the submission of a grant application for this grant. It awarded one full-time position, and this is year 2 of the grant that runs through August 31st, 2021. This did have to be returned by the end of August. That's why it's on for ratification, but this is year 2 of a 2-year grant.
Okay. All right, any questions? What's the
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under M is Department and Office specific request under M1's Heart of Texas Fair Extra Event Center. Okay, under item M1A is authorization of boiler replacement, which we've already approved the budget transfer for that. It's $98,685. Any questions on that for TJ? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
For a second? I'll second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under M1B is authorization of capital improvement invoice for $36,332.45. This is capital improvement expenditure for our Expo Event Center, which was included in their list that they provided for us sometime back. These are stall and mats for the cattle barn. Any questions on that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under M2 is authorization of phone request. Under M2A is HR is requesting Mitel phone for new staff person. Under M2B is the 10th Court of Appeals is requesting a Mitel phone for their new staff person. And M3 is authorization request for hotspot addition to a cell phone plan for criminal investigation division for the sheriff's department. Are there any questions about those? If not, is there a motion to approve M2A, M2B, and M2C? Excuse me, M2A, M2B, and M3.
So move.
Second.
Motion been made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Dustin, we have some annual orders. You want to cover those?
Yes, sir. Let me jump back to it. All right, so if you want me to, I can just touch briefly on each one of these as we work through. So under N2A, it's the order authorizing county engineer and or assistant county engineer to sign requisitions, exemption certificates, and state reimbursement forms. N2B is the order appointing Commissioner Ben Perry as county judge pro tem. N2C is the order setting the hourly pay rate for hourly rated personnel at $7.25 per hour effective October 1st, 2020. N2D is order setting the compensation of jurors, members of the grand jury, and grand jury bailiffs. N2E is order designating the day and location for regular and special commissioners court meetings. N2F is the order adopting the ad valorem tax exemptions. This covers the homestead exemption, the over 65 exemption, and then the exemption for disabled individuals. N2G is the order adopting licenses and or permit fees. Most of these fees are set by the state. And then N3, or Judge, you want me to stop there before I go to N3, the sheriff's and constable fees?
Yeah. Under, are there any questions about those that he previously mentioned? If not, is there a motion to approve N2A through N2G?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, under N3, approval order setting the sheriff's and constable's fees for the 2021 under the local government code 118.131, and those fees are set to actually reimburse the county for cost. Is that correct? I mean, it's
They're the fees that are charged on each
right, but
notice or
the
service.
statute says that they can't be over and above cost. Do we know where they are relative to cost? Sometime back, we had Dustin who analyzed this for us.
Shad Robinson over at the Haley Olson law firm has for years, whenever we kind of do a check-in on them to make sure that the fees are reasonable and go through a comparison with other counties to make sure that's correct. And it is correct that the statute reads they are reasonable fees meant to recoup the expenses, the county's expenses on serving papers and whatever the different matters are.
So I'm just wondering, who is, we can't put fees on there that, for profits and those kind of things, but they are to reimburse costs. And I'm just wondering who analyzed to be sure they're covering those costs.
There hasn't been a significant amount of change to them. I'll have to look back at the whoever analyzed them at Haley Olson back. I can get with Destin and see, but I would they should
Several
be
years ago,
reasonable.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I think it was 2018 the last time we had a large adjustment.
So it just makes me think anytime fees haven't been adjusted that long, and we know our cost has gone up, whether we should go to the effort to, have third party and work with the auditor to be sure they're in line.
because there are some limits on a lot of them that you can't exceed a certain amount. So
Right.
And Judge, part of the process is when this is received by the county clerk's office, they reach out to the sheriff's department and at least to Constable Precinct 1, since that's the highest volume, and do a check-in on the amount of fees. And I do know there was one request from the sheriff's office this year to be increased.
Okay. Well, I understand that. I mean, I understand they asked them, but but what I'm trying to understand is it relative to the cost. So it sounds like the sheriff's department made a financial analysis of it and said that fee needed to go up, whichever one it was. I just wonder about the rest of them.
and I believe that's related to Estray's that those costs are significant.
That's
so
for
that,
stray animals.
yes,
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we get
that's
that.
definitely reasonable.
We get the fees from the court every year, and they ask us to review it. And we look at the other counties, what the other counties' fee schedule is, what is reasonable, when's the last time we went up. And the only thing that we went up on this year was the large animal housing per day. We've been low on that. Our vendors have complained about it. We get receipts for all of these from our vendors, especially just for stray in particular. And we check their invoices. They're not allowed to charge if it is not on this fee schedule, the amount. We have a deputy go through. So when you say, is it a direct reimbursement for the stray fees for us? It absolutely is. We do not allow them to charge more than what the schedule says.
Yeah, I understand that. There's a lot of other fees on here that besides that one. I know talking to other county judges and commissioners around the state that how many of them commented that with the state putting the pressure on the county's budgets to cap at 3.5%, and I don't know what it'll be next year. That one thing that we look at is not gouging at all, but be sure we're getting our costs covered on these fees, and it's got to be reasonable. I understand that, but there's got to be some kind of financial analysis around the term reasonable. Is it reasonable for the person paying it, or is it reasonable for the person receiving, or the entity receiving? So, I mean, I'm okay with adopting these, but I do it very. I just don't know why we wouldn't go in and have, let's say, Shad go back in and be sure we're brought up to date and that they're reasonable. Any other thoughts from the court? Okay, what's the pleasure of the court? So,
Motion to approve.
okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, under item N4 regarding McLennan County Group Health Plan discussion. I'll call on Amanda and Anna. Okay.
Yes, sir. This is Anna.
All right, what did you want to discuss in this?
At the moment, we don't have anything up for discussion. If we could just defer for a later time.
Okay, thank you. The
You're
motion-
To defer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under N5, authorization of refund request for overpayment of real estate taxes by Yale. It's spelling as YAALX Real Estate LLC. And this is under section 31.11 of the Texas Property Code. The amount requested is $5,374.11 for overpaid taxes. I think we had one here a couple of meetings ago like this too. Is there a motion to, or is there any questions on that? If not, is there a motion to approve the refund?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. The under N6, the Convention and Visitors Bureau asked for a board member and recommended Wes Allison because of the his knowledge of different activities coming into and events coming into the community. They'd like him to serve on the board to replace Matt Fothery, who retired off the board. I'd make a motion that we approve that appointment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under N7, discussion or action requesting the change fuel card company and authorization submission by a fuel card program application with Wex Bank and Sourcewell. Sourcewell.
They're a
Okay, Ken.
cooperative that we belong to.
Okay,
Yeah, recently, we've been using the Fuel Man fuel cards, and they sent us a notification that they were gonna go up on and charge us a $4 to $12 fee for each card that we held. And as you see in our notes, we got about 229 active cards, and that would result in a cost of about $11,000 annually over what we've been paying for fuel cards. And then we found out from David Ives that there's a limited number of places that we can actually use that Fuel Man card. I will tell you, David did a lot of the legwork on this and double checked with other counties, and this WEX card under the Sourcewell contract, they're not going to charge us a setup fee. They're not going to charge a fee on the card, and they have a good maintenance program. It's more widely accepted than the Fuel Man card. And so we would like to go ahead and fill out the forms and apply for this WEX fuel card and do away with the Fuel Man card.
and y'all looked at the transaction fee.
Right.
Is it higher? You know, that's the charge per transaction.
There is no transaction
It's free.
under the
Okay.
Sourcewell contract.
Okay. That's how they make money, there's a transaction fee.
The only fee that they charge is if you had a precinct guy that has a diesel truck that fills up at a tier 1 truck stop at the 18-wheeler diesel pump. There is a $1 per card swipe charge for that specific thing, and that is the only specific charge that they have for fees. But I don't think that that's a huge use case
it's not for us. I can't speak for the rest of the county, but I don't think it is for the rest of the county.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Normally there's, how they make their money as a percentage of the transaction. And that's based off the analysis of how big each, what your average transaction is and how many cards you have out there. So
They actually offer a 1% discount on the listed fuel rate for the pump rate for all transactions for us as well.
okay. All right, thank you. All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the request for application with Wex Bank and Sourcewell.
Is there a second? I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under NH, discussion or action regarding McLennan County employee flu shot clinics. Rosemary?
Good morning. I
Morning.
believe I mentioned in my report to the court that it is highly recommended by the CDC that people get a flu shot this year. The Walmart pharmacy out in Hewitt, which is the same pharmacy that has provided our on-site flu shots for the last 4 or 5 years, has contacted us. They are ready to go. We have dates set in October. All of those locations were contacted to make sure they're comfortable having the on-site flu shots and following the COVID-19 restrictions with masks and sanitation in between the shots and all. So
Okay.
motion to contract with Walmart for on-site flu shots.
Okay.
Other, if someone wanted to get their flu shot sooner than October, are there any other locations where county employees can go?
You can go, you can get a flu shot at any pharmacy and at other sites. It is a preventative care distinction by the health CDC and the government. So it's all charged to your ID card, your insurance card. So I don't know when they're going to start giving the shots. It's recommended that those dates in October are a good time. You can get a shot too early. And so that has happened in the past. But as soon as they're available and on the market, anyone can go anywhere they find a spot and get a flu shot.
I got mine.
It's covered by our health plan.
Yeah.
It is. And other employees who are on a different health plan, they just need to bring their ID card to the flu clinic and they'll get their shot. It's all billed to the insurance.
So this Walmart on-site clinic, anybody who's an employee in McLennan County can get
Correct.
this
And
shot,
family,
no matter what health plan you're on.
correct. And family members can also join them whenever they get their shot, if we allow them in the buildings. So.
Okay, but if you want to go sooner, you could go to any facility that's offering the flu shot without the copay. Okay.
Exactly. Doctor's offices and all the pharmacists, whether it's Walmart or HEB or independent pharmacies, all of them will be offering the flu shots as soon as the vaccine is ready.
It's here.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let's see, did we get a motion on that? Yeah. Is there a motion to approve N8?
Motion to approve flu shot clinics.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Passed. Okay, under O1 is authorization of job proposal for Les Clark remodeling. This is the ADA modification for voting center at St. Louis Catholic Church. And the amount looks like it's gonna be $1,850. And it provides us another voting spot. Any questions for TJ on that? If not, is there a motion to approve 01?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion been made, second, any discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under P, McLennan County Venue Project, P1 is regarding the architectural service agreement with Populous. We have nothing this week. Then on P2 is regarding the construction manager at risk agreement with John W. Irwin Construction General Contractor. This is, there's an application under P2A for payment number 19. It's application certification for payment number 19 for $1,645,580.
This has been signed off by Populous, and both Dustin and I have reviewed it, and we're good with the payout.
Okay, any questions anyone have? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the pay application.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. Under items Q, McLennan County Radio Tower Project. Under Q1, authorization of bid from Les Clark Remodeling for $2,400 for a 9x10 concrete pad and fence modifications for Road and Bridge Precinct 2 tower site. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Pass. I don't have anything under work session items unless someone else does. Okay, we are going to go into a 5-minute recess. And when we come back, we will go into executive session on personnel matters. And I'll announce that when we go back in. Okay, let's call court back into session. Okay, under section 551.074 of Government Code pertaining to personnel matters, I'd like to go into executive session, and I'd like to have Francis remain as well as Dustin. right, let's call court back into regular session. It's exactly 11 a.m. Going to item F2E, authorization department head and salary sheet. What's the pleasure of the court?
I move that I came in late, so I didn't hear the discussion leading up to, but I am prepared to make a motion if that's what you're asking for.
Yeah, and we need to deal with all the ones that are on the sheet, plus any changes that you might recommend.
Okay. I move that we approve the department head FY21 salary amounts as presented, with the exception of the welfare health services director. I would submit a salary for that position at $82,012.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If no discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
All right, pass. Anything else to come before the court today? If not, we stand adjourned.